Hey, my name is James Nicholson. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about when will the housing market crash? And what does that mean for us as property investors? Well, do make sure you stick around because I want to share some interesting information that will really be useful to you as an investor. But while you're here, can you help me out with a few things, guys? We are nearly at 3,000 subscribers on this channel. And I want to ask you to help me get to that number. So take that finger of power, spin it around, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Go on, do it right now. You can see the number going up as you do it. And while you're here as well, like this video, guys. Smash that like button over there. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So go on, smash it right now. So, house prices. What a topic, right? We've done so much content on house prices because you guys are really loving this discussion about house prices. And as a British person, it's something that we're all really proud of when we're homeowners is how much our property is worth and how little maybe we bought it for many, many moons ago. You see, my first property was an investment property just a stone's throw from here in Dorking in Surrey. I bought it for £45,000. It's now worth £250,000, which is just absolutely insane to me. And that has happened for years and years and years. In fact, since 1066, on average, house prices have doubled every 10 years, right? Now, we're expecting the market to have a correction at the moment, and there's a reason for that. And the biggest reason we've got is inflation, right? So inflation is causing problems. Now, inflation as a whole is actually not bad for property investors. And I've talked about that in a few other videos. You see, what inflation's doing is it's eroding the debt that you owe. So if you owe the bank 100 grand and we've got 10% roughly inflation at the moment, the buying power of that 100 grand next year is 90. That's pretty good. And so if you owe many, many hundreds of thousands of pounds like me, that's positive, right? However, there is a negative side of inflation that could impact house prices and very likely will. And that is interest rates, right? So how you overcome inflation is to raise the interest rates high. And what you would normally need to do is to raise them just higher than where the inflation is, and that would put it back down. Now, this inflation is something slightly different. It's caused because of a war and energy that's being stopped being flowed to us and all sorts of things like that. So they're trying to do it in a more softer way. And what the interest rate rises will do is push us into a recession. Now, the Bank of England have said we're going to be in the longest recession in history, which will probably go for a year and a half at least, which is crazy, right? But not a very deep recession, which is good. So interest rates, as time of recording this, Bank of England rate is 3%. Now, we had a mini budget a few weeks ago, and the mini budget made things really scary because the markets didn't like what the government was suggesting, and they predicted that the base rate, the Bank of England base rate, would go to 6.5%. Now, good news is since we've got a new Prime Minister, whether you like them or not, it's irrelevant, but we've got a new Prime Minister and the markets and the Bank of England have indicated that it's not going to go as high as 6.5%. In fact, it will be below 5% at around 4.75%, which is still way higher than we've got right now. So what happens when the interest rate goes up is the affordability goes down, doesn't it? Because if you are paying £500 a month for your mortgage, but now you've got to pay £700, you can't afford that necessarily. And that means you'll buy a cheaper property. And because of that, 30% of the properties on the market got taken off in the last few weeks. There's less properties for sale than there has been for quite a while. Now that will protect house prices temporarily because less stock means that there's less options for buyers. So they can't be offering silly 40% below. Now also, people won't just sell their house in a flash sale straight away, right? So if they feel their house today is worth 200 grand, they're not suddenly going to go, you know what, I'll take 150 for it. Because right now, nothing's really changed. I know it feels like it has, but not really much has changed. We've still got fairly good employment. A lot of people have high inflation, of course, but these interest rates, not everyone's impacted by that because lots of people are on fixed deals. Where this comes into play is when people stop their deals or come off their deals because they're ending next year in 2023, and then they get offered a worse deal. That's when the market is going to start really feeling the pinch from this inflation and the interest rate rises. So you're not suddenly going to get a 25% dip. Now, what people are seeing and hearing and reading is that on Rightmove right now, 25% of the property is reduced, right? Which sounds like a lot, 25%. However, Rightmove have come out and said, normally the stock that's on our site, 30% of it is reduced. So we're not at normal times even yet with that. So it doesn't mean the market's going down just because some people have reduced it. Now, these 25% of the market, they just might be people that urgently need to sell. There might not necessarily be others bringing new stock on that has that urgency as well. Or maybe these people want to get it sold while the market is still good, even with some sort of discount. 25% isn't the amount discounted. It's just that like they might have £1,000 off each. They might have 10,000. I don't know for sure. You don't either. So the fact is that there are some reductions, but this stuff takes time as well. You see, all the property deals that are finishing and completing at the moment will have started in the summer months. In the summer months, the interest rates were a hell of a lot better than they are today. And so those people will complete at the price that was agreed in the summer because they don't want to start again, because if they go back to the market, they'll get a new mortgage offer with a much higher interest rate, which means, yes, they might buy a cheaper house, but they'll pay more per month anyway. And that's not what they want to happen. So what I believe is going to happen is you'll see these high rates, these 3%, which means that people are paying around 6% because the bank puts their margin on top. Those deals, those prices, those transactions will start complete in February and March next year. That is where you're going to really see what's happening in the market right now, because it takes time to flow through the market for us to see what really is the current state of the market. Right now, a lot of people are guessing. Right now, a lot of people are trying to spook investors, trying to spook people. We don't know what's going to happen, right? And inflation, once that starts coming down, interest rates will look at coming back down as well. You see, the government has more debt than ever before. They need the interest rates to be lower so they can service the debt. If the interest rates went up to 10%, for example, the government would default themselves, and then the country would be in a way worse scenario than we're currently sitting at right now. So in summary, when are house prices going to crash? I don't know that they're definitely going to crash. I do know that there's going to be some sort of correction or leveling off. And I believe that you'll start seeing that from February and March in 2023, because those will be the deals that will be completing that are at the higher interest rates that we're starting to see today. But what do you think about all of this stuff? Do you think the government's got it right? Do you think the Bank of England's got it right? What do you think is going on in the market, and where do you think we're ultimately going to end up? Comment below with your opinion. Keep it nice, but do comment below. Do like this video, guys. That really helps with YouTube. Subscribe and hit the bell. Check out all the other content we've got on this channel. We're one of the fastest property growth channels in the UK. I make content every single day, and that will really, really help me if you could watch all this content and learn some stuff along the way. So that's it from me. Go and check out this video right here.